Hi, and welcome to Saturday Night Spiritual. It's Saturday night. It's full moon night. It's September 10th. It's 5 o'clock Pacific time. And I'm Reverend Sheena coming to you every second Saturday of each month at 5 o'clock Pacific time, bringing an interfaith spiritual service. This is my last one like this for a while. I'm so glad we had this time together. Now, next month I'll be back in the sanctuary at Founders Metropolitan Community Church, coming to you live from the big house, because it appears that, as my mama used to say, God willing and the creek don't rise, the pandemic has quelled a bit. So it'll be wonderful to be back with you all in person. It will be my first in-person interfaith service since March of 2020. I've done many from the sanctuary, but not where folks were allowed to come. It's going to be a new territory. It's going to be fun. It's going to be beautiful. And I'm super excited. So this is Saturday Night Spiritual. We are Founders Metropolitan Community Church's interfaith service. I'm the interfaith pastor at Founders MCC. I'm the Reverend Sheena. I'm at SheenaMetalSpiritual.com. It's an honor to be here with you all and to be sharing this with you every month. Each month we talk about something that I think is important for your own spiritual healing, your own spiritual ascendance, your own evolvement and enlightenment. It all starts with becoming more connected to you, becoming further connected to higher power, becoming more connected to the world, and then connecting to others. But number one is always becoming more connected to you. And I think you'll find that many of my sermons surround that. As a matter of fact, I have a link if you want to go and check out all my previous sermons and services. You go to Rev Sheena, foundersmcc.com. And it basically just is a link of every service we've done and the date and what the sermon title was. And you can click on it and go and watch. So I want you to be able to enjoy if you're just finding us. I want you to be able to get anything you missed. I want you to go back and watch things you liked. I want you to get more God in your life, more spirituality in your life, more light inside of you, because we need you to fight for the light in the world. You are needed here, and you are important. So who am I? I'm Sheena Metal. I wasn't always a reverend until I got a calling. After my mother passed, Spirit gave me the call. It really is a thunderous cry. It's just like you see in movies or read about in books. Mine happened in probably the most spiritual of all places, the Walmart parking lot. That's a true story. And I love being a reverend. I feel like I kind of always was and just never said I was. And I'm honored to be here working alongside Pastor Keith Mazingo, Reverend Alejandro Escoto, Reverend Steve Peters, Reverend Lucia Chappelle, and all the wonderful pastors here, and the deacons and the board members and everybody that makes Founders MCC so great. This service was designed by Pastor Keith Mazingo and myself with a lot of help from Reverend Alejandro Escoto. We wanted to provide something that was a universal, light-based, love-filled, peaceful service where everybody felt like they were welcome. Now, I've always felt that Founders MCC was what my mama used to call a y'all come church, even though progressive Christian in nature, always that everybody is welcome at Founders. We designed this service to be a place where even people that didn't like the title of identifying as Christian or with Christians were welcome to come and worship and feel like they belonged, because everybody is interfaith, really, because interfaith just means all spiritualities working together in harmony on the earth. So no matter what you consider yourself, you're also interfaith. Just like if you're a blueberry, you're still a part of a mixed berry pie. And if you're defiantly raspberry, you're still a part of a mixed berry pie. And if you are Orthodox strawberry, you are still a part of a mixed berry pie. Do you see where I'm going with this? So interfaith is really for everybody. It's just how you identify within there, your own spiritual ideologies and cosmologies. That's what makes you different and unique. And that's the beautiful thing, right? We are one human family. And we need to always remember that. And sometimes we don't. And the last, however many thousands of years man has been on the earth. But really this last, especially in our country, this last 10 or 15 years, 20 years has been really tough with polarization and with folks not getting along. And, I grew up being a lover of Abraham Lincoln from the time I could remember, and learning about the Civil War through learning about Lincoln and understanding how important it is that we never have our country divided in that manner again. And I think the acknowledgement on a spiritual level and what we can do as spiritual people and as light-based people and as love-filled people to advance the idea that we are one human family, that no matter where we worship, we are all part of the mixed spiritual pie. I really believe that is getting us on the road to making sure that that kind of divide at that level never happens, and that the current divide that we have will become better, because you don't have to worship in the same place. You don't have to live like your neighbor. You don't have to like the same things, but you do have to understand that every one of us is on the earth for a reason, even though sometimes it's hard to understand that. And we are one human family, and we have to think and live and love and believe that way. Now that means if you are surrounded by people, or there are people around you that do not feel that way, then you need to lovingly and in some ways defiantly show your light and stand up for love. So that's what we're going to be talking a little bit about today, standing up for love. But first, real quick, please visit us at foundersmcc.org. Please visit us on Facebook at the Founders MCC page, Founders MCC on YouTube, where you can watch all of our services. And remember that Sundays is when we have our major services, when the big guns come out. First the English-speaking service, and then the Spanish-speaking service, helmed by Pastor Keith Mizingo and Reverend Alejandro Escoto, respectively. And also remember that if you go to the website, you will find that we have so many things you can watch, things you can do, things you can get involved in, outreaches, programs, Bible study, so many things happening. And you have the option to become a member of our church. This is the first church in my entire life I've ever been a member of, for almost 3 years. This church was the first time I ever got baptized in my life. My mama used to always say, I'm not going to baptize you because I don't want to put anything on you, but someday you will find the church where you belong. And here I am, finding the church where I belong. So isn't that a great story? Yay! It can happen for all of you. So, if you are a person who walks in the light, if you are a person of faith, if you are a person who believes they are filled with love, then you need to stand up for love. Now more than ever is the time for us to stand up for love. And that's what I'm talking about today. There are always going to be those, right, that do not stand up for love. There are always going to be those who want to tell you everything is bad, everything is wrong, everything they're angry about, everything they hate. I had a bad childhood. I had a bad week. I had a bad marriage. I had a bad friendship. I hate where I work. So therefore, I am going to take my angst, bitterness, anger, hatred, jealousy, bigotry, and I'm going to pass it on to you because hurt people hurt people. Well, the problem is this. We are not in this world alone. Just like the berry in the pie, we are not in this world alone. So let's say I'm a blueberry and I have joined the mixed berry pie. But there's a small problem with me. I'm rancid. I'm rotten, and if you eat me, you'll get sick. So I'm not doing anything to get better, and I'm not taking myself out of the pie. Instead, I'm diving into the pie and trying to spread my rancidity everywhere. We are not in this alone. We are all in the pie together. So what happens to us affects the pie. So if you have a slice of that pie and everything in that pie is fresh and delicious, but there's that one rancid blueberry in there, you're going to get sick. So I think sometimes people have this idea that I'm going to hate everything. I'm angry at everything. I'm acting like nothing matters. Forget everything to everything. But that's okay because, it doesn't matter what I think. See, but it does, because there's this wonderful thing that God has created. It's called universal vibration. It is the rhythm and the melody and the resonance of every single living thing on the earth and everything that ever was alive. You got a piece of furniture? That was a tree. It has a resonance. You have something you made out of leaves that have dried up. Guess what? That was alive at one point. It has a resonance. Things that were mined from the earth, coal and steel and rocks, they all have a resonance. So all of us, from the single-celled amoeba to the super intelligent elephant, to you and me, to the limestone under your mountain, to the oil in your car, we all have a resonance. And we all affect each other, whether we like it or not. We are all in the pie together. And if one of us has gone bad, it taints the pie. So what can you do? You can't find the rotten blueberry and extract it. We can't eject people off the earth that are not putting positivity into the earth. We can't even find everybody that is not putting positivity into the earth. But we can do this. We can raise our own energetic resonance. We can raise our own vibration. We can stand up for love. And because we're pushing up, right? Michelle Obama, the beautiful Michelle Obama, when they go low, we go high. It must have been very hard for her to say that. Because there's a part of you that wants to say, when they go low, I want to punch them in the face. But you can't, because energetically, that's not how it works. Hate begets hate. Love begets love. Martin Luther King Jr. said that. The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. Only love can drive out hate. Hate cannot drive out hate. So the only way to make the world a better place, you're not going to change, probably, you're not going to turn the rancid blueberry fresh. And that's okay. Maybe you're not even supposed to. But what you can do is, you can stand up for love. You can raise up. I've got a praise hand here you can't see. You can raise up. Next month I'll be in the sanctuary and you can see my praise hand. You can raise up the energetic vibration of the everything simply by throwing your positive, love-filled, light-filled weight into the pile of love. Remember we were kids, we'd play that game Tug of War, right? Tug of War was all about what kind of power you had on each side. And sometimes you were just in a stalemate. And then each team would get to add somebody. 2 new people would come on. And everybody's pulling the rope and trying to get it over the line. And somebody strong anchoring the back of that rope could be just what it needs to push it over the edge, to pull it over the edge. This is what the universe is like. Have you ever seen a yin-yang sign? It looks like somebody put 2 kidney beans together, right? One is white and one is black. One is darkness and one is light. And that is what the universe looks like. And some places in that sphere, right? The universe is a sphere. The earth is a sphere. Somewhere in that sphere, there's a lot of black and a tiny bit of white. And somewhere in that sphere, there's a lot of white and a tiny bit of black. And other places in the sphere, there's a different balance. This is the universe. There are times when dark wins. I don't like that story. That's not something that they really show us or tell us when we're growing up in Judeo-Christian ideology like I grew up, kind of loosely Presbyterian. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you sometimes darkness wins. They say, beware the devil, beware Satan. Don't do this because it's satanic. Don't do this because it's evil. Don't do this because it's bad. Don't do this because God will be mad. But in the end, God fixes everything and it's okay. If only that were true. Wouldn't it be nice to live in Candyland? But the truth is, there is a balance to the universe. And I think a lot of people don't like that story because they like the idea that no matter what they do, no matter how lazy they are, no matter how spiritually irresponsible they are, God will come through and pick it all up. It's like when you live with your mom and you're like, well, I don't really have to put my dishes away because she'll come and do it anyhow. So you think, well, I don't really have to fix that because God's going to come and take care of it for me. But it's not that easy. There is a balance to the universe. It is a seesaw. It is a scale. It is the tug of war. And in order to make sure that things fall into the side of light, the side of good, the side of God, you have to participate and lend your positive energy, your love vibration, your light into a situation to make sure that the light always wins. You've got to be that kid that goes and sits on that side of the seesaw to make sure the other side of the seesaw stays in the air. You have to be the person to grab the rope and pull. And by you, I don't just mean you particular person. I mean you, all of us, me too. We have to live on the side of the light because every day, what we say and what we do and who we are and how we live plays into the light quotient, the love quotient, the goodness quotient of the earth and the universe. Every one of us matters. You know how they always say, people say, my vote doesn't count, right? Every vote counts, right? Because you could be the one. So get off your couch and vote. It's the same thing on a spiritual level. Every little bit of light counts. You could be the one that tips the seesaw. You could be the one that tips the scale. You could be the one that pulls the tug of war rope over the edge. It could just be you. You could be that little tiny bit of light that God needs to save the day. It could just be you. So you have to stand up for love. Don't take it for granted. Don't think, well, I'm going to spend the next year just being a bitter, awful person because you know what? Screw the world. Somebody else will stand up for love. Doesn't work like that. It's not about you can step out and somebody will step in. It's about everybody has to step in. And here's the thing. You don't need to do anything like miraculous. You don't need to give up your worldly possessions and, put a cross in your shoe and take a journey. All you have to do is be as positive as you can be and participate in the light vibration of the earth. You got to stand up for love. So interestingly enough, this week, right, England lost its queen of 70 years. And huge love to her and her service, and huge love to her family. I have never lived in the UK. I am an American citizen. She is not my queen. I only know about her what I have seen Helen Mirren do and On the Crown and what I've gotten from history books. Still, you can't deny that her service was beautiful. You don't have to agree with her politics or all her decisions, but somebody who spends their life in service and lives a life that is not their own for the betterment of man is someone you have to tip your hat to and say, wow, thank you. So most people are saying positive things about her. U.S. presidents and prime ministers from around the world, people who live in the UK, people from the UK who live in other countries. Every once in a while on the news now, we're seeing one, right? Oh, well, I don't like the way it's, I hope the next one, it's going to be more of the same. I don't know about this King Charles. I think sometimes that people think the way to get attention is to be the rancid blueberry in the pie. Oh, everybody will notice me. I'm the green blueberry that gives you botulism. It's not helping. If you have that much negativity to say about someone that hundreds of thousands of people consider to be a second mother to them because they are their queen, millions of people, maybe you could just not say anything the day and days following her death. Maybe you don't need to say something. Maybe you don't need to be the one to point that out. When somebody talks about the beauty of Abraham Lincoln, the Emancipation Proclamation, ending slavery in this country, maybe you don't need to be the one to come out and say, well, there was a time when, we don't need to voice everything we think. You have to stand up for love. Look, every single person on this earth standing up for love, including me. If you asked me to, if you made me, if it was for good and there was a reason for the assignment, and you asked me in everything that I'm standing up for love about to write down negative aspects, sure, I could. About anything, sure. This country, sure. State of California, sure. Spirituality, sure. This church, my life, yeah. My cat, sure. He bites my feet. I think he's nearly perfect, but in the mornings when I'm trying to sleep, he bites my feet. There's something. I'll give you that example. I won't give any other examples, but I'll give you that one. He's a great boy, but he bites my feet. Some people feel like they have to list every negative thought they've ever had, and they have to say them out loud. The world is the yin-yang symbol, my friends. It is the light and it is the dark. It is the agony and it's the ecstasy. There is no perfect situation. There's no perfect person. There's no perfect organization. There's no perfect organism. Everybody's got stuff. But standing up for love means that you are throwing your light into the light, accentuating the positive, eliminating the negative, and making the vibration of the world lift through love. It doesn't mean you have to live as a Pollyanna. It doesn't mean you have to wear rose-colored glasses. It doesn't mean you're not supposed to say, hey, this is wrong and we got to fix this. Or I'm not sure what I think about this. Or I don't know about this situation. I have doubts. You're allowed to be an analytical, participative, educated, informed person. But at the back of your mind, at the end of your third eye's tunnel, you cannot forget that standing up for love and tilting the world towards light, towards positivity, towards God energy is what it's all about. So if you have to voice something negative, or if you have to deal in a negative way, or if you have to do something negatively, and we all do, we all got to get on the phone and have it out with the so-and-so about the such and such. It's part of being a human on the earth. But then after that call, find something positive to do. Sometimes when I am going through something so hard with people, and I literally just want to scream, when I get done with the call or the email or the text, whatever it is, I pick up my cat and I snuggle him and tell him how much I love him and how important he is to me. Because you have to put love somewhere. When you've had to deal with things that were not of the light, that were not of love, you have to find a place to put love. You have to put that love back. Right? It's like those jars you see sometimes, right? Like in the 7-Eleven that say like need a penny and then question mark leave a penny. So let's say your bill comes out, it's $9.02, and you don't want to walk around with 98 cents change. So you take those 2 pennies and you pay. And the next time you're there and your bill is $9.98, you take those 2 pennies and you put them back. That balance of light and dark, of positivity and negativity is what I'm talking about. So if you have a thing in your life that makes you feel negative, then find a place where there is positivity, stand up for love, and throw love into that positive thing. I mean, on a completely selfish level, it will make you feel better about life. It will make you feel better about your life. It will make you feel better about your existence. It will make you feel like there is a balance and a fairness to it all. It will make you feel good. On a global level, on a universal level, you are changing the world by standing up for love. And why not? Why not be positive? Why not? I go on the internet sometimes and I see, I'll give you an example. So I grew up in the entertainment industry, right? Wanted to be an actor since I was a fetus. Was an actor and a writer for many years. I have been a radio host since I was 27. I'm fascinated with films and television and songs and books and stories. I love it all. And while I work on my spiritual stuff in my spiritual life or in my entertainment life, I often have something running in the background. A show, a movie, a reality TV show, music. Alexa's always playing something. I go on the internet and I see people that claim to be fans, right? And all they want to do is pull apart this celebrity, this actor, this athlete, this TV show, this movie, this team. Just pick it to pieces. It doesn't mean you can't have an opinion. But if you love something, and if you watch it all the time, and if you can't get enough of it, why are you saying so many negative things? I think it's a pattern that we've gotten into. I think as overindulged, overstimulated, underwhelmed, bored first world citizens, we've gotten to this place where we don't know what to do with ourselves, so we just pick everything apart. And then what are we doing? We're living in a world with a vibration of everything being picked apart. And that's not what we want. We want to live in a world, isn't the goal of every human, right? Hopefully, is to create heaven on earth. So we want to try to create here a little piece of what we experience after we die and go home. Is that what we've created here? A place where you're going to spend hours picking apart somebody's bald spot that's on a TV show that you watch? No, that's not what it's about. How about, hey, I love this show because, wow, what a clever idea. They did this. Here's the reason that even though I no longer live in Boston, I'm still a Celtics fan. This is why I drove a Nissan Sentra for so many years. Now, it doesn't mean sometimes you can't say, Guy had 7 Nissan Sentras, and I got to tell you, that one I had this year, it had a lot of problems. Because it's okay to tell people what's really going on. But this obsession that we have of hammering the negative, of dividing ourselves, of bickering with people, of overanalyzing everything in a negative way, of not standing up for love. And then when somebody's out there throwing out their love, saying I love you, spending their time standing up for love, then we get cynical, like, oh, what's going on with her? What's wrong with that guy? What is this whole standing up for love thing? And I'm sure there are those of you watching now that are like, who is this weirdo? And why won't she shut up about love? But love is the driving force. It is what builds our spiritual chi, which is the blood of our soul. Love fixes everything. It's an injection of positivity. And just because somebody doesn't love you back, it shouldn't, or because it's not a situation where there is someone to love you back, it doesn't mean that changes your feelings about love. I love elephants. I probably will never touch one. I hope that's not true in my life, but I'm 55 years old and I've never touched one. I may never touch one, but I love them. And I love that they're just on the earth. I don't have any investment in that. I don't get paid for an elephant blog. I'm not an elephant dealer. I don't run a zoo. I just love that they're alive and that I get to think about them and throw love into them. I throw love into people every day I don't know. Somebody's sick, I'll say a prayer. Somebody's dog is getting put down, I'll say a prayer. I don't need to know that person. I don't need to know that dog. You don't have to have investments in things. You don't have to have a, pardon the pun, dog in the game in order to throw love into something. It's part of being a human being on the earth. Loving, standing up for love. Standing up for this couple's right to adopt, this couple's right to get married, this person's right to do what they want to do with their body, this person's right to vote the way they want, this person's right to worship the way they want. That is standing up for love. It might not even be something you particularly believe in or would ever do, but you are doing it because standing up for love means that the vibration of the earth raises in a way that you can't even comprehend. And because when it's your life, when it's what's going on with you, you would want others to stand up for you. I'll give you an example. When my mom died 6 years ago, I think there should be a drinking game where every time I mention my mom during a Saturday night spiritual, everyone takes a drink, even if your drink is just like Hawaiian Punch, because I'm not a drinker, but I think it'd be a funny drinking game because I swear every time I start talking, I bring her up. When my mom died 6 years ago, I had no other family. None of my friends were available to be there with me at 5 o'clock in the morning. They literally took shifts. One talked to me till midnight, one talked to me till 4. One who lived on the East Coast picked up till 4 and talked to me, but nobody was there. And I don't have any blood family or any family by marriage. It was just me and her, and she was dying. And I didn't know what to do. So I'm sitting in this little tiny waiting room that they have like on the floor where everybody dies, where the family goes. I'm looking out the window at the Newport Beach, California harbor in the dark. So it's just like little twinkly lights. And I opened up my phone and I typed on Facebook, I'm about to lose my best friend and I don't know what to do. Just because I didn't know who else to talk to. The nurse was on a break. The doctor I just gotten off the phone with. Mom was on a BiPAP machine. Within an hour, There were almost 1,000 comments on there from people. And almost all of them were just, you got this. You can do this. I love you. I know it's hard. I've been there too. You're going to be okay. 99% of these people, I don't even know. Didn't matter. Doesn't matter if you know someone. Somebody picked up their phone and they saw somebody's relative, somebody's loved one is passing and they don't know what to do, and they all started leaving comments. And those comments lifted me up, lifted up my mom, lifted up the entire vibration of the floor of that hospital, and got me through that next few hours. Because of that love. And it continued all day. It took me weeks to read everything. That is the power of love. You got this. I got you. It's going to be okay. I know how you feel. I love you. You don't need to know somebody to tell them you love them. That is such a misnomer. Oh, you only tell people you love them if you know them. No, you should share as much love with others as you feel like you want to. I love you. You got this. It's okay. Every night before I go to bed, I go on Facebook or Instagram and I just click my homepage and I start commenting on what people have going on. You got this. I'm here. Happy birthday. Happy anniversary. I'm so sorry you lost someone you love. You're going to get this job. Congratulations on your new house. This is standing up for love. This is all of us becoming connected through the mutual experience that every single thing on this earth, human or otherwise, is having the same experience right now. And it's that we are all on the earth together. And it takes nothing but a couple of seconds out of your day and a little human kindness to say, I got you. I understand you. I feel you. I hear you. I love you. To stand up for love, my friends. And I know this is a difficult time. And I know that sometimes we're not sure what to believe or who to believe or what news channel to follow or what we should be thinking or what's going on in the world or what's happening with this. We don't have to have all that understanding right now. We only have to stand up for love. And then let love and God take care of the rest. My mama used to say, put your faith in the hands of the gods. Right? The Christians say, let go and let God. You just bring the love and let God do the rest. I'm Reverend Sheena Metal. This is Saturday Night Spiritual. You can donate. We would love that. I call that help us to help others, to help you. The more donations we get, the more we do with the church, the more the programs come back to you. They go to others. Go to foundersmcc.org if you want to write in Saturday Night Spiritual in the note so people know that you like this service and this sermon. I would love that. Also, make sure that you go to foundersmcc.org, find out what's going on, take part. Everything can be watched online. You can, from wherever you are in the world. You don't ever have to go in. If going and seeing people in person still makes you nervous, you don't have to. But you can. Starting next month, I think. I'll be there next month. If you're in the LA area, you can come out and see me. Otherwise, you can always watch it at 5 o'clock Pacific time. It's not always easy, this love thing. But it is essential. Please find me at sheenametalspiritual.com. Stay in touch. You may email me. My phone number's on there. You can text me. Visit Rev Sheena, foundersmcc.com. All the links to all the Saturday Night Spirituals are there. Enjoy them. I always love ideas for what would be a good sermon. Please. We're all in this together. We're all in the mixed berry pie together. I'm an Orthodox strawberry myself. Remember that even when you're not having a good day, even when you're angry, even when things are hard, when you're done with people, when we all get there. I get there. It's so important that you continue to bring the love. Continue to participate. Continue to do what you can to make the world a better place. I found this poem is so easy. I like to end this service with a poem every time. And the first thing I always do is I type in the name of the sermon to see if there's a poem called that. And this time there was. There was a poem called Stand Up for Love. I thought it was so important. And I will say really quick that the inspiration for this, Spirit always kind of gives me the download for it, but the inspiration really for it was that I was watching the coverage of Queen Elizabeth II's passing, and the tears and the joy and the beautiful speech, I thought, by the brand new King Charles III. The warmth in his voice I thought was lovely. And then all of a sudden they enter this one guy and he's like, this country's got a lot of problems, and I don't know, Charles, more the same, and the royal family, I don't like him. Not a good time, not appropriate. I didn't understand why. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it. This guy just seemed like he wanted to get on TV and just cause trouble. And I thought, no, you need to stand up for love. Say, I'm sorry you're hurting. I'm sorry you're a 50-year-old Englishman who never even met the Queen or went to Buckingham Palace, but you're crying like you lost your mother. I love you. I'm sorry you're going through that. I didn't grow up where there was a Queen, so I don't really understand that. I don't know. In the U.S., I guess we have like Oprah, but I understand that she was a maternal figure for you, and you're sad. You don't have to understand what's going on with someone to throw love into them. You only have to understand that we're all in this together. So I thought this poem was interesting because oftentimes the poems I read are they're very rainbows and unicorns, but this one has a little bit of an edge, and I like that. So this is called Stand Up for Love, and the author is... Hang on. The author is Marquise Burnell. And here we go. There are times I want to lay in bed some mornings, keep from dealings with the problems of the world. Every time I leave for work, there's something happening. Wish for once to see a world come together in harmony. It fills my heart with much sadness, looking into the eyes of rage and madness. So much hate directed towards one race. It's a feeling I wish we could erase. Such an emotion shouldn't have a place, and there's no escaping it because it's everywhere. Even felt towards anyone who's seen as different. Having to battle the war of adversity, it ain't easy living in an unkind world that doesn't offer much solace or sympathy. Love is love, no matter the targeted crowd. Exhibiting hateful emotions, seen to cloud better judgment, which keeps you blinded as we're reminded tomorrow is not promised to any of us. Let's make today a little better. And we'll be able to live without the unnecessary prejudice if we stand up for love. Let's do it, my friends. Stand up for love. I am the Reverend Sheena Metal. You can find me everywhere on social media at Sheena Metal and at SheenaMetalSpiritual.com. This is Saturday Night Spiritual. We're at SaturdayNightSpiritual.com, FoundersMCC.org. Find us at Founders MCC on Facebook and on YouTube. Until I see you next month, in person, in October, I'm Rev Sheena, and I'm sure honored to be here. And I think you're all very wonderful. And I thank you for watching and for listening. Stand up for love. Seek peace. Live in love, my friends. Lead with kindness. Embrace unity. Always work to raise your energetic vibration. And remember that you are love and you are loved. I'll see you next month. You take care of you.